Willie's present. He's going up there again. Is that him? There's Sarah, huh?
Good evening. Well, it's incredibly tough to follow future politician Willie, but I think we'll give it a shot right now. I'm Sarah Brandt, and to my right are Lonnie Abelson, Philip Kirsten, Caroline Algram, Emma Berger, and Hannah Hine, and we are the valedictorians for the class of 2013. Through our 4 years at Park, each of us stands here on graduation night feeling like we found something at this school. Some little piece of knowledge or lesson that we want to share with you tonight. Since all of our individual speeches share the same theme, we ask that you please hold your applause until the very end. Thank you. Throughout my senior year, I was endlessly prodded and asked the same worn-out question: what do you want to do with your life? The question still gives me anxiety after hearing it dozens of times. I thought responding with the pitiful "you" word, undecided, would make me look hopeless. So I learned to recite a speech on how I want to study biology to maybe one day become a doctor. If you've heard me say that before, I now must come clean. Well, that sounds like a fairly interesting career path. Truthfully, I'm undecided. I was always too embarrassed to admit it, and rightfully so. It's easy to feel ostracized in the undecided category because life these days becomes so ultra-focused on the future. Toward the end of high school, it started to feel like the only reason we were there was because we were in some transitional limbo before college and our future careers. People joined clubs simply to add to their college resumes. They took AP classes because they could get college credit. SAT and ACT scores somehow were indicative of your knowledge, and some students started countdowns to graduation before senior year had hardly begun. And now, as these countdowns reach zero and we arrive at this moment we've so long awaited, the future yet again consumes our thoughts. We feel like we're supposed to put on these caps and gowns and magically become adults with everything figured out. But honestly, very few of us will successfully make that transition into adulthood anytime soon. But that's exactly how it should be. Instead of using these coming years to carefully map out your future, spend it exploring and discovering what you genuinely love. These coming years are yours to have a world of new experiences in order to discover what you're truly passionate about. So learn to once again live a life dictated by the present moment. The future has a way of always figuring itself out. It can wait. But for now, join me in the undecided category and discover how to once again enjoy what life around us has to offer. Thank you.
Dirt kicks up behind me as my legs pump forward, towards some finish line invisible to the adult eye. My bare feet dig into the spongy grass, and in this instant, nothing else in the world matters. The only thing flashing through my mind, I've harnessed the wind. I am the wind. I am free. Scene change, 18. The word screams adulthood. We can decide to put our nation's safety above our own and vote for whom we want making our decisions. This age means change. We literally leave our childhood behind in the dust, kicking it to the curb and stepping, or sprinting, depending on how eager you are, into maturity. But what if I don't want it? High school's a very strange time. We're stuck in this in-between age where we're told it's time to let go of our childhood. I think that's sad. There is something truly magical about being a 5-year-old. The whole world is your kingdom, the colander atop your head is your crown. But as we age, the once special occasions like going to the zoo or waking up early to watch cartoons becomes mundane. We lose a sense of awe so apparent in the eyes of a 3-year-old. However, at Park, I've seen myself slowly gain back some of my childhood freedom. Classmates plan elaborate senior pranks, and I remember one instance where a Nerf gun war ensued. No parents were around, we kids ruled the world, and I felt giddy. I was 17 years old, but in that moment, I possessed the same sense of limitlessness as when I was only 5. To quote one of my favorite childhood books, The Wind in the Willows, all this he saw for one moment, breathless and intense, vivid on the morning sky, and still as he looked, he lived, and still as he lived, he wondered. With this graduation comes a choice. I choose to wonder. I choose to be amazed. I choose to run through the grass barefoot before it's too late. I choose to remember. Thank you.
While it's important to look back and remember, and keep a part of your childhood in you forever, we'll have to face the inescapable fact of why we ever came to high school in the first place. As much as we hate to face it, high school is a time when we were expected to find direction for the rest of our lives, plan our future, and set goals. And the only remaining step for us is to go out into the world and catch whatever it is we are chasing. I suppose in this way, high school itself is a lot like a student trying to write a big essay the night before it's due. There's a tall order and not quite enough time. However, like most of us who become veteran one-night essay writers, you'll use all the tricks of the trade to finish its essay. But the essay is us, the students. And like any good essay, we need to finish with good cohesion and a clear direction. Personally, I feel like I've always known the direction I want to take with my life. Even before high school, I was interested in medicine. But only my junior year at Park, sitting in my first biology class, did I become certain that pursuing a career as a doctor was for me. The material just stuck with me, and I still love discussing all the complex systems that exist in our world and in our bodies. But I can't say that every class has inspired me in the same way. I know that most of us here have had our frustrations with what we see as unnecessary and irrelevant work. I can't count how many times I've heard my friends ask, when am I ever going to need to know this? And for the most part, I think we're right. We don't need to know a lot of what we learned here, but we have to understand that school isn't trying to make us into all Shakespearean scholars or history sages, but rather, it's still just like a student trying to finish a last-minute essay. It's throwing everything at the wall, trying to find something that sticks, hoping that by the crack of dawn, when we have to face a strict grading of this essay, we'll be able to stand on our own and not have to worry about passing, or even excelling in the class of life. Wherever we go, and whatever we do after tonight, high school has been, and always will be, the time when we are all exploring the purpose and direction of our lives.
I cannot say how many times I have heard cliches about success like bring your A game, always play to win, and for all the Pokemon fans out there, gotta catch 'em all. Since we are children, the pursuit of success is instilled in us through brightly colored posters, cheerful songs, and even card games. However, this term is rarely defined, and we as young people are often left to formulate our own definitions. According to Merriam-Webster, the definition of succeeding is simply to turn out well. This description leaves a lot of room for interpretation. For a long time, I thought success was purely measured by grades and how many awards someone had. Although it is crucial to do well in school and other activities, awards are not necessarily a measure of someone's character and future abilities. Throughout my high school experience, I have learned that sometimes it's not about who has the most knowledge or the best test scores. Many of you have taught me that each person's idea of success and fulfillment is different, and people possess many kinds of intelligence. By simply observing a class, I see among you talented actors, budding business owners, future scientists, and more. Even if we may not yet realize it, our education at Park has prepared us well for a successful future in wherever we may find our passion. As we move forward, it is important for all of us to broaden our horizons and expand on our current knowledge in order to find this passion and better understand our diverse world. Although success is difficult to define in today's society, it seems to often be marked by a wisdom that allows a person to apply what they know in order to discover and achieve what they want. I challenge each of you, as I do myself, to seek out this wisdom and learn to recognize and embrace each other's unique strengths. As we go off to college in the fall, we will undoubtedly encounter people with backgrounds and interests different from our own. However, if we learn to collaborate and strive for success, the class of 2013 can truly shoot for the stars. Thank you.
As a figure skater, I've practiced countless hours trying to attain complete control over my balance. Each jump and spin requires a delicate combination of edges, all while balancing on a single blade. These last 4 years, like many of you, I struggled to find balance, and not just at the rink. I strove to find a balance between schoolwork and the rest of my life, and now, during graduation season, I'm struggling to find a balance between looking back on my high school experiences and looking ahead to the future. During high school, I went through a really hard time when I let my quest for perfection dictate my life, my self-worth, and my happiness. I know that whether you're graduating with me tonight or many years ago, you can relate to a hard time in your life when you lost sight of yourself. I'd like you to take a moment and think back to the people who helped you regain your balance. For me, it was my moms and sisters who reminded me to balance time doing schoolwork with time for myself. My dear school friends for teaching me how to have fun and laugh again. And the teachers who are passionate about what they do and truly care about their students beyond the grade they earned in their class. Tonight, we are about to graduate from high school, from childhood, from all we've known. Whether you are going away to college, starting a new job, maybe as superintendent of a school district, or perhaps taking a break from work or school to figure out what comes next. I hope you remember not only to look forward to the future and all the new exciting experiences that lie ahead, but also to remember to take time and reflect on where you've been. If there was one special formula to achieve a happy, balanced life, I can tell you we would have learned it, made flashcards in it, and probably written an essay on it. Whatever comes next, we have to remember to keep looking for balance as things change, and accept help from those who want us to succeed. Albert Einstein once said, "Life is like riding a bicycle. In order to keep your balance, you must keep moving." So, in that spirit, let us keep moving forward toward whatever life has in store for us.
As we move forward and try to discover what life has in store for us, I think one thing that binds us all together is our quest for happiness. It's what we've been constantly told to strive for, but it's incredibly hard to find. Between stressful tests and long days spent at school, I often found myself exhausted and anything but happy. I would try to justify this unhappiness by telling myself everything I was doing was for the future. But then a couple years would go by and things still hadn't changed. I began wondering when the future was coming. Through my experiences over the last 4 years, I've discovered that the future is right here, right now, and more than anything, it's important to do what you love. Whether or not this thing is future-oriented or something spontaneous, the important thing is that you have fun doing it. No matter what this thing is, it is important to have something close to your heart that you can return to when you feel lost and alone. Stay true to yourself. Don't worry if what you love isn't what other people like or think is cool. Use this as part of yourself to embrace your individuality and never let it go. While this thing you love may be on a grand scale, I have found it can make your day to simply make someone else's day. Be kind, smile often, always say thank you and give compliments frequently. Find happiness in making other people happy. Recognize that everyone comes from a different place, but know that a simple smile in the hallway can transcend any kind of boundary. Embrace differences and give unwavering respect, even to people you don't know. Although we don't have the power to choose where we come from, we have the power to choose the thing we love that shapes who we will become. This is a time to choose. Go out to the world and discover that part of yourself you still haven't found. On behalf of my fellow classmates and valedictorians, thank you all for being here tonight, and congratulations to the class of 2013.
Parents, families,